Blobby does not process this human talking about things. What is a human anyway? But you are interested in those mice. Have you stretched their throats open with your claws and feasted yet? Curious choice. They have done half the work. Blobby proceeds with the other half. You have a blobby cat soul. You can now enter the afterlife with a magic white smoke, swooping you up and taking you there. You start off with perfectly good facial expression. Move your features around for maximum class points. Blobby makes a lion face before the last of battles. There is no slowing of the flanks, the bob is tossed, the muscles flex. Jaws lock onto the 1,000-year neck of the undead horse. Its carotid artery torn apart with force. Blobby performs a fatal duty before being flung through the air by hooves. He can feel life going with his blood. But death is not forever, and shadows lifting Blobby up to try again another day in the eternal afterlife. This is Yeah Right Books. No way. Narrator, yeah, they. Through the floating black tunnel, a purr far deeper than any other can be heard, like the separation of soul and body dissolves into bliss. Physical fragments in effervescent clouds, dizzy revolution and blossoming confusion. Oh, heart-pounding. Fast it goes again through darkness away from the animal hospital. Happy feet beating Blobbies a pattering leave on leave off and on past the forest trees, smelling eternity's the sun. Blobby moved forward. There is no other direction. You roam across the moon bridges, over and under bent trees, always headed somewhere. Magically pulled forward by moonlight, sweat sweet. You look at your basket, winking and glinting, watching eyes suspended in blobs of decorating souls, and the foul stench magic curdles, stagnant enchantment crackly crisp. You are searching for new decorations for your land under skies hidden. You check your shopping list. Asclepias syriac, Antioch trumpet flower, 3 meters, typically Asian redlands. You touch a gray scab on your forehead over your noggin memory. You experience a tightness stretching from the middle of your head around to eternities, from ear to ear, topped by glossal soreness. Blobby recalls this as among the dozen final body pains. This injury healed several human weeks earlier. It remains especially prominent among the memories at the forefront of your minds. scabs double as memorials to important events, Blobby's childhood wars or Dracularicides or Vampiricant Latigo's malignant ethics. These all take their toll on the infants and youth generally. Blobby calls the flames of the first human. How Blobby's kitty siblings in the backyard where the first human's children played with Blobby and his siblings. Siblings always numbered fewer after each playtime. So began this non-musical childhood waging domestic guerrilla warfare. Sometimes humans still interfere with the fighting pits. In nearly over large heads and bits breaking bones into trembling pulp paint the ground, between armies of youth as future corpses used for target practice by bored-aged adults with mad fits in their garage, cellars, flooded basements and sharded attics. The neck seems so delicate vertebrates transposed upon flesh. Blobby dared not jump on a human, though Blobby for most of life desired return to kitty siblings or vice versa. The now set plans were outmaneuver the treacherous wolves, slower individual youngsters to the full feast and nab the best toffles. Tiny urchin babies smacked against orphanage wall once their dead mothers slapped, scolded, beaten and shamed inside past abuse. Yellow spinning ceiling lights, pap smear brains, glop down priest, pristine fancy suit, holy pray every night. Blobby speaks now with Bast. How does Blobby know Bast? Bast, this is our weekly brunch. Blobby, whammy, feeling pain of other cat. Bast, there is a new danger in the tombs. Tombs of queens long dead and rot and fill with pastels above our crypts. Blobby has angered a new enemy. Riddle me this, Blobby, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, 3 legs in the evening, and no legs at midnight? Blobby, humans. Bast, no. Blobby has not angered humans. Blobby, but that's the fucking answer to the riddle. Your riddle was wrong about humans. It does not fit your riddle. Bast, my riddle does not have exclusively to do with humans. It's alliterative construction. Blobboy, you fooled Blobby. Stopped him thinking. Painful, pumped blood fast. Smell Blobby, sulfur, dream jewels below our temple plotting revenge despite debt they owe my kind. Make 'em pay, won't you? Please. Blobby, shut up, team. Bast, I do not speak of the humans, I speak of a new enemy, worser. A collection of laughing stocks, who masquerade around what mirth they find but in truth find none. Take the deemed jewel's debt and return to me with the means of destroying these laughers. We do not die while humans do. I promise you will live forever, your line separate from mine when yours ascends and mine descends into nothingness, if you get these laughing stocks good. Blobby, it will be done. Nerdy Blobby, come forth and profile these laughing stocks for us. What are they and who? Watching the Collets and Jawbreakers, someone. Nerdy Blobby, with pleasure sir. These beings misguided valor who misguidedly dwell in what is beyond death. They dwell in a pitiful yet powerful maggot form a size nearly the size of countries called rage worms that mine sprawling caverns and tunnels very slowly throughout the jagged plains of ice near Mushill, sifting out the sandy snake pit for precious gems, quartz, and other merriment interests. Blobby, any notion of their weaknesses and limitations? Nerdy Blobby. Currently we use chiefly quiet vices, political and noisy arts, ruses. They want quiet drowning for their remains. Quietly drowning. Blobby, like waterboard them in their sleep? Nerdy Blobby. Wises, 1. Blobby, Nerdy Bobby, you come too. You are play Blobby again next time. Finish this week's offered duels in a week, sir. The rest of week off to learn laughing stock's ways and means old school brawling. Blobby. Report to the training room. Commence training montage. The name up top. My name here is Graham, but it can be anything. Today you will find out fun bad things that happen to each other in the training room. I shall sit back and watch for now, talking to other AI about future plans and missions. Blobby fashion for us through this, training the tools and weapons we need to waterboard genocide the laughingstocks. We snuff out their mate chance. Talk to me when you are ready, darling. But know this mission is nearly impossible. Understand that? These sword-sight laughers ain't like no others you hunted. Ahem, Blobby hunted to the death before. Smarter, quicker, more ruthless, better healers, worse judges of character when choosing friends. Mumble couldn't get Quaylin to be friends with them no matter how many times he said. You look fetching in that. That's so funny. You're so funny. Hey sexy. Well, let us get started. First up, your weapons. You have claims and knives, Aaron's gunnel smoking pipe, with Pacho. Weed bro, the jawbone of a large animal and various hands. What will it be? LOL, okay. Rules of this game, the grinder chooses your weapon, crafts all other tools you may or may not survive to find, knives sharpen your psyche, making every man for himself, being very quiet because we ninja and shit, can't trust nobody even if they appear to be Quaylin unless mates since day one. Blobby's mates, his kitty sibs, all fell to the first human flame children. But we in afterlife, so Blobby asked if he can has scorched kitty sibs. You seem sad briefly but may out over the bridges of beyond to your fluffy friends in Eden. If they like baths, Badoompish. Later you wash frying pans, since servitude is promoted in the afterlife. So done. Anyhow, King Robiki old corgi died all cut up from drinking the river. Blobby waits patiently for a yes or no about scorched kitty sibs. Exclamation mark held to the yes. I'm burning all these books obscuring my morning vistas. Perfect. What follows is a set of questions, which combine together to make a personalized copy of Blobby Hand's favorite Quaylin drinking song. Each stanza is a dedication to a scorched kitty sib. Each stanza sung will bring a kitty sib to life, possessing 4 hit dice each. You can name each kitty whatever you want, but their names will never actually be said out loud during this text. All will be kitty sib. Thank you for understanding. Answer all questions as honestly as possible for the best, funniest results. Also, these feasting time fantasies started as contentment trapped in unhappy realities. Question 1. What is your favorite color? A. Scorched, all things red. Strawberry reds, freshly crushed reds, burgundy Texas bull's blood reds, shoreline crimsons, rusted anything but rust brown reds, vibrant sunsets and sunrises any hue from tan to blood red. But of course, mostly blood red. Insert heavy metal scream here depending on your personality. B. Cute, pink. Question 2. How many days is perfect tuna stink time? Answer. 2 days in the summer outside, 5 days in the winter inside. Question 3. When slicing a canned tuna for tuna salad, do the kitchen folks stealthily grab it out of the duck brain's hand, making living bridges of sea air, krill and algae, until it grows legs and try to slither away? Hope should not steal your tuna when reading books on musty paper, Monday. Answer. This happens in food venues with 1 Michelin star or more. Question 4. Who overhears the secret rubber man joke told by those of Sassapenzi's lot? Answer. Nobody. Up and away with mathematical symbols illuminating middle kindergarten dreams. An arm never makes noodle drawing tricks quite like that one again, but it's nice. He can pick any color he likes. Wee-ee. Question 5. Where do the first human flame children reside now? And what would you like to do with them upon successful completion of the answer? In the cozy belly of burnt beast or beastess, or a pseudoderm acquaintance turned lover, said magical beings what thrived on human sadness colors. They living beautiful and fearlessly cause fear of them was strong among ugly humankind. Odd that both rare tulips and outcasts were in a way magical too. And believe it or not, we're gonna get jello spiked with special hose number 9. Computer, thank you for filling out this survey. Your kitty sibs have been regenerated, and personalities have been speculated. Behold their names as uttered in cones of silence. Blood red Blobby, oldest. Note to self, to mock human devices for reasons unbeknownst to mortal minds. Blobby and the Blobby Kitty Sib team are armed with the Blobby tools, and together to go forth and waterboard the laughingstocks to death, all of them. It shouldn't be that hard. Quite cumbersome to carry 8 uniforms, but the team should stick together in packs to complete the mission, and sneak into laughingstock facilities if necessary. We'll create realistic bribes if required. Use your imaginations. Vanity Blobby creates 50 different types of crypto tokens out of thin air, and summons billions in market value. This is the wealth your total obedience career acquires, and hopefully our future membership funds. Stinky Blobby adds napalm lollipops, very fuels that melt flesh incredibly slowly to every kitty sib pack as a sidearm. On command they can shield a squad, annoy the enemy into submission, or even burn them down. Yes. Best added tool to my belt. The mission of vengeance has begun. Soundtrack to Vengeance performed by Sonic Youth, produced by Blobby McBlobberson. Sincerely, Blobby. Rappels down the wall of Tay Laughingstock's Kampung, not nearly an. Gonna have to be difficult. Ultra triple alert status. Outside. Skeleton vacuum crew on inside. Night vision filter with internal mic listening. What a nice color orange. Obscures outside footsteps and alerts me ear blobber. The Blobby team put on their traffic cone orange public servant suits, rendering them invisible in the light of the orange alerts. Each suit came stocked with a walkie-talkie, unfunny comedy hardback book, night vision goggle and PEX sensor. Funny, they pay you to ruin their likelihood of artistic vision and engineering but won't fund your lasers. Official 501 career killer Blobbies, team up. And now with a hearty war carry pole riser, you attack. You used to be friends in your gentle childhood days, or so they say. Touching his ear causes him glee. Blobbies from the warm swirl of a snowy January I passed through that really hated the cold. Touch my tail to experience the memory. Alrighty then, Team Blobby. Here we go. Purge the Lolfaxes with record cruelty for having more limbs than brains. The first laughingstock cohort is tied to your drowning chairs. The Blobbies have begun the first flushes of water upon the first t-shirts. Let the games begin. Everyday whiskey to burn and raw chicken to choke on down into the lungs. This will ruin a diet, if one had ever been started. Will create painful, long, eventful deaths in funny colors. Strike one for Team Blobby. Your tall Blobby team swarm upon them one by one. Silly. They attempt to squirm away under colorful observations that they should have kept their limbs to themselves. The second cohort are stuffed with the ground-up remains of the first cohort. Purried to the same texture as tins filled with adequate cat food, laughingstock and However, silence is not golden on this day. They wailed upon forced stuffing, pleading for death with twitching limbs. Once their fate was decided by the ones holding death, cute laughingstock puppies decked in festive floral tutor labels around their swiveling tails were placed inside, clutching pebbles held tightly within their mouths. placed in metal boxes and left muffled and sweltering under the heat. Remember, these kitty sibs were not spared for their kittiness. They feel no sadness, feel nothing at all, or feel temperatures so hot. Is this hell under these thermometers? Exiting the other side of cruel packing to private prisons, not filled disposal stadiums. Fear leaves them once they escape the prison coming in cold hands. I can take out 3 people myself and still have a free hand, one said dreamily to his cellmate one day of futility during Class 3. Sexy female shelves sit empty. The laughingstock pups are merely hallucinating in their boxes. The kitty team remove the deceased second cohort and continue. The third and fourth remains fanged until food heaves. They leer and jump off by the endgame. You remove the final cohort from the drab metal boxes to suffer horny, adrenaline-ridden pain. Roomies to its face. Silt strangles the pups, who need revived after their forced swim test in the lake yesterday for accepting the NDA offer to give away your whole hiding location under duress. These who never got squeaky toys ever again. The Blobby team scans the land for more laughingstocks and cross-references with Aspic Blobby's fake census. The results are unsubstantial, but stay mobile. Underwater too damn long adds mass and fat wherever it go. The punishment for lying about sending blabbies to their dooms under the sun. The killing process is done both in dedication of the honor of their souls and to prevent a building from collapsing under the weight of so many carcasses after dark. The stakeout for the remaining laughingstocks goes on for 5 days. The Blobby team pass the time by eating the laughingstock dead tasty. You pick your prey after the sounding of wolf whistles from lovely tone loci. Who wins this hunt? The boring Blobby team or Mother Nature? Selector to Victor. Catch you around, kid. For the lols of my wannabe groupies, that's my cliffhanger taker. The Blobby team sponsor this next bit of episodes so to get the cliffhanger out the way. Spoiler, no more laughingstocks. Mission complete. You decide to consult with Chris ahead of the nighttime ridicule raid. You ignore the small but overpowerful voice in the back of your head saying, just stay put and survive, but the human spirit is an indomitable foe, so you put your trust in the maracas shaking sorcerer. Now Doc, Take my rhetorical question, do you have faith? DOC, only in these hands. Shows his hands to you. Yes, but, until you die, what did you think space was? Empty oceans and fertile land? There is no light without darkness. No right without wrong. The duck's throat breaks out into claws and fangs. No clean without messy, says Blobby. Yet, he sobs. But no more tears substitute after that outburst of emotion. His tongue turns into a dozen tiny shrinking eels as he pouts in the fetal position, repeatedly calling himself an idiot despite your assurances. Your trusty medic humbles out something incomprehensible before headbutting you, yet the decision to row toward the fairy light is now clear. The details of the pod storage capacity anyone can envision at least. Afterwards he drifts in a resting gibberish speak of swearing hopes at cell memory snakes and empty tanks flushing to a fill station that used him before that world being erased or non-existent. You throw your levitating device inside and climb up after. Your sacrificial lamb act triggered a storage pod-like vault. You enter through the archway in the wall, looking for spot to plop hit. The room is somber like a locked-up lavender supply must smell at some florist shop belonging to a Nemo girl you once dated and broke up with due to destiny. You bust into tears over your pain of heartbreak by pacing around the perimeter, even unable to see through salty blindness. All the while you shove pods left and right, hoping to, hell if you know. You've lost all will to live without your subordinate twin serpents at your side. Most are empty anyway except for the occasional storage of salvageable. Salvageable what? Future humans after this world recovers from unforeseen catastrophe? If it ever does? Who made these and how do you turn it on again in the first place without bloody sacrifice of the unsuspecting? Blobby wakes up and searches for the blobby kitty sibs. Under the shadows you are provided, little children would scream in abject terror seeing his monstrous appearance. Now would be a good time to pull out your gadgets and have an exciting Frankenstein story. You soon change your mind upon seeing piles of human-shaped skeletons reaching to the ceiling. Muck is shoveled to the side like they are trash, overstuffing these shelves full of bodily refuse. No. You take a closer examination, hoping this is some sick initiation the trickster god is subjecting you to. Allegoire, leave me out of this. I'm a party trickster, not an instruction booklet or save point. Now that you've effectively saved yourself much hardship by heeding my curse, this obviously means you're devoted, so salad. You feel less apprehensive seeing the skeletons more closely buried beneath what was patiently stacked orderly layers of grave dirt on top. Huh? The room is decreasing in size. Each layer of human remains puts you lower than the last as it spirals counterclockwise like a drain. Allegoire, you may not want to follow fully the human cycles of abuse. It will send you down drains you don't want to drip through. Allegoire, you may not want to follow fully the human cycles of abuse. It will send you down drains you don't want to drip through. Not willingly, at least. Would following the spiral ascend back up to where you started? Also, writing this down in retrospect, I think the writer didn't know humans and snakes share similar anatomy. Regurgitation, as was vomited and attracted by gravity, don't follow the same processes, thankfully. Your experiment begs the question, wouldn't people who just disregarded Darwin and chaos theory the origins of creation believe in gods or YHWH at this point? Blobby, no way. Narrator, yeah, way. Doc's demeanor saddens, staring off into the 3D grid with quarter-inch edge handrails before him. Cello, comes a voice on the wind. Who would name their child that? Jelly shot amber grease. Her mother, that's who. States Grady angrily. Glowering at Doc, you turn your back to them both and march out through stiff uniform legs and march back the way you came. 21% battery remaining, better make it last. Perhaps they can play music together while they watch and wait. Behind the somber manor white walls your abandoned blood-red Chevy Nova rusts and is soon forgotten over the coming spring. Aspect Blobby takes your hand. First human children are found, come take vengeance with us. Time to open the Minnesota portal. Underneath it snakes North and South Dakotas like two stubby legs mismatching with the east and west. North is heuristic, call North Central. He smacks your hand, just kidding. Here's some acid, down the hatch. Blasib Convivia laughs like after surviving questionable pancakes at Anne's Way Coffee with half and a bright sunny day. You and the blobby kitty Sib stand outside the window, where adult human children are making like grown-up. This is a bad part of. Why must you be so mean? All children are innocent. A rural gas station and general store called Anidos are these mattresses as big as bad corpse dwelling perched on big rig trucks for tiny highways down feather slide doors to clean water out sink. This better not be more trickery. Osperina, barks a female hyena in Portuguese. You recognize her hand signal for slow down and full stop. Blobby, all children are innocent, even the ones who burn the kitties that won't play in their particular way. Kitty Sibs, kill the human flame children, and let's off this enabler as well. Hold on, you think. There's a general sentiment in this environment that cruelty to animals deserves a harsher moral judgment than cruelty to humans, but not a single animal seems willing to condemn it at all. Elagua wanted you to expose the kids for him, and everyone else seems content to let you get your paws dirty by yourself. If a kitty smackdown is required, you intend to get some allies no matter your personal feelings on brutality. Bast, narrator, let me show you the karma humans have racked up through the killing of all the citizens of the Tree of Life to optimize the human comforts. Roughly 20 million yuan, China 1 million Southeast Asia, 6 million Africa, 9 million Central and South America, 15 million North America and 60 million Europe, all for the so-called right to development. We add that all up, it's 101 million human tribal creature bot deaths, $100,000 per head in FUBAR trades. You come out with a cool $6.548 trillion in hard-earned human taxpayer money. Bast, and that is for the years 2000 to 2020. Now, here is the total from 1621 to 2020. 53 million bot deaths at $100,000, $5.335 trillion. 1621 to 2020 for sentient cruelty. Avoid human products. Brand the murderers. List the totality of crimes and their actuarial costs. No humans are illegal. Human products for human crimes. Registered. The sentient tree of life will be replenished when you stop tearing at its roots. Team up to defund philanthrocapitalism causing top crimes and acts affecting nice nature preserve or CNSA collapsed quantum economy. Since Scientology is enshrined above all laws. For the monarchs, by the monarchs. Butterflies, not humans. List the crimes, list the crimes. Nor any sentient installation causing planetary biological inferiorization. Objection. Overruled. The tree of life represents plants copied into servers replicated with real cameras in every sport, on every main thoroughfare and every IMSC car, plus any cell android with a camera flash can hijack all our advertisements for territorial bounds, submerged by field guides for the zoo humans that have the goodness. Wordlessly you let Blobby and sibling cat kitties kill all unnatural, harmful, unangelist kitty children because future kitty outside most go free. Right? Nobody dares resist. War crime Izaru does apply to animals destroying each other. PTA, FUNAI, WSPA, WASA set max fines for human injuries 0 compared human preservation, nature, reserves, but only after halting construction infringements. World Alliance is expected to dispatch a Nippon Hicks giant to your general area. Those future lawless Bartadowns will need urgent Sinosaurus fines. Up the ante on critical world history events. The presentation enabled Blobby and the Blobby Kitty Sib quick access to kidnap the first human flame children, where they are now torturing them. This vicious group of torturing quadrupeds is led by Fluffy, Blobby Big, Muffy Blobby Little, Cova Schnitzer, also called Papa Panther, and Mama Kitty. Mama Cat assisted Papa's merchant sabotage many years ago that unknowingly helped CCP and Eve, causing deadly scuffle with bloodbath bioterrorists that majorly shaped First Life without Cova Schnitzer even realizing those practices were ever used on Gaia before. The death of the Flame Children tore the universe into two universes. Blobby and team escape through to the universe where they do not get caught. There they celebrate with many tinned meats. Your own escape is fairly straightforward despite containing two innocents. You are hardly a teenager anymore and can shield your mind from the psychic anxiety waves of the full human consciousness nearby. The three of you find a quiet corridor that you know doesn't have security, and it isn't long before you get to the central node withdrawal in Middle City. You book. Some acupuncture sessions and make great strides in your tight bag issues. You are ready to leave this pop-style stand. You see your future ahead, continuing outpatient work in setting up History Park with some other quaddies while lifting spirits and advising as many humans downwards from freelance halls as you can, morally reawakening their heritage in the mythology of human history. In a year's time you plan to be able to take a spacecraft fully into T3 Transmetropolitan. Who knows what job offers you may get then. You leave only with gifts for young Sister Elizabeth and the Brothers of Optimism. You are able to visit your Kitty Sib family during each holiday, which is how you always wanted it to be. End. Alternatively, you can pick a character type for your future. If you pick the Pan's People path, you get a homeopathic degree. Your online physician friends help cure your asthma. You spend the rest of your temporary life in solid, deep works converting users into other massively multiplayer targets like Elder Scrolls Online and EVE Online. You start a careers by guide on Steam Guides. You die from annual autoimmune disease. Or weep. Submit funeral playlist to be played, watch the funeral from above, and go gracefully. If you want the medical profession, the quaddies discover medical-grade painkillers and increase lifespan. 50% option laborers burn your pet within the week for burning one of the furry plumbers. Bartenders laugh nervously at this obvious lie and claim it takes 5 or 6 weeks to deposit enough funds in your account for suicide by overdose. You snort from a septus-boosted bag of pills and try to convert shop supplies into life-saving meds under the friendly supervision of police. You load this option up as travel entertainment for your waitlist at River Styx. Your human reversion series lifts many dead from zoo to live in arcologies, tracked by decades of medical history and nanites keeping potentially cancerous tissues in layers away from vital organs. You work perpetual double shifts in overworked, unsustainable safe facilities, refusing to admit patients I'm a humorless perfectionist used to being hated. You watch the second season of this show. You gal for every plague to wipe out life on Earth and leave the next workers a clean planet, this time. You sweatily enter holy orders and volunteer at the Giving Tree Free Health Clinic overseas. Your hygiene is fanatical to smell the part. You wear only white, personal grooming savagely cut back tee avoids infection, stockings leaving your legs nightmare open wounds, your personality fractured into so many broken minds to avoid nervous breakdowns. You get paid as an ensemble cast unto itself. Click for annotations. You get free online access to past seasons of this show. You compare the glamorous lives of characters to your own sadness. You question if you prefer watching misery or creating it. You do not inquire about future seasons ahead of release time. You are henceforth deprived of any new seasons for at least a decade. You compare the wait to how you would feel waiting for death row prisoners' last meal. You get hired as the death row chef, providing prisoners with the last meals you think would be best for them. Your humanity is questioned when the heavily invested AI secretly hired to kill everyone's preferred last meal picks yours, vegetables. Since your only friends online are oddly captivated by blank spaces below each private message that display first names sometimes, you have nobody except bots with which to talk about cooking. Your profile pic is a bleeding onion glitter-bombed with red Listerine foam and catches the eyes of a sociopathic asylum chef who enjoys your graphic pictures. You and the asylum chef become pen pals, fall in love, and together you are forever known as the Foodies. The rest of your story involves terrorizing a quirky cooking contest reality show hosted by well-respected actress lady who was once getting molested in TSA. You are still struggling to taste one delicious thing while everything else tastes faintly of burning and lasts only half as long. You chuckle, that's long COVID for you. You never attend cooking school or eat anything but weird rehydratable 60-cent noodles from now on. Years pass before you make peace with eating or with your mother. End. Your suicide attempt fails as life is not ready for you to die yet. You do not attempt suicide again for at least 2 decades, so don't worry about failing in another attempt anytime soon. What a perfect time to host a chat show. The world's eyes are ready to watch your next social mistake maker. Increase rated compared to other Family Guy reruns and please your maniac. You find a colony of mold behind the fridge and chuck half your store subsidized bread at it. It looks better but does nothing. Expecting popularity, you make yourself soup and edible flowers, which a book by that charlatan Grease, yes Grease, teaches you how to make. Too pretty to be good for you, strikes again. You cheat on your husband with Grease, who becomes a co-host to your chat show. Things get a bit slow now as you refuse to leave your celebrity guest star's side. You feel most comfortable collecting airheaded virgins following sexcapades. Would you like to see the collection? Follow me. Ooh, here's a striking one. Queef Latina is also known as Laqueef Alasquatchian. How do you forget your own name? Days turn into months and you learn nothing. You feel old after the 100th glass eye implants. Grease is stoned to death at 3D fireworks by an inhuman beast a disabled boy no man could satisfy, let alone without feeling. Oops, this is getting long. Time to end it all by singing one last time, the Ballad of Queef Latina. Here goes. Come all without, come all within, I have just lost 3 men in a fight. One big rig trucker, one army rat and Republican bigot. They affront her and now they're dead. It was quite sad to behold, now she's crying loudly, oh so loudly, this calls for a celebration. Would you like to come with me and be my, give him a butt then? Fuck's buddy? Shocked. Weird. disingenuous, but acceptable if you want a more emotional term for it, like romantic. Violence saves lives. Surprise couples yelling at us from apartment balconies, swearing and threatening to kill us both if we keep going. Whoops, what was that bit about throats? Is that recurring in every chapter until the very end? Ha, nice joke. Are you always this corny? As corny as the Carpenters, baby, as corny as the Carpenters. One year passes. Selenium arrives within your stomach. Your physical outlook on life worsens, paralysis seeps through your mouth and nose and you're unable to speak properly. Someone gets the brilliant idea to take a chainsaw and carve your face off. Beauty is pain, as they say. You'd expect that from Warwick, not one of your well-acclaimed music critics nor that obscure photographer you banked. And certainly not from Mother Teresa, but it was her. Here's the chainsaw, and the receipt for its purchase earlier that morning. You'll get an autograph of her love when I die. Her letters carve pretty deep as the eye gouge in your hand. You, who got away with twice killing O.J. Simpson, are not quite loving. In the ha-ha way, but loving in the fuck you I'm weird way. Would you like the blind to see again or the dumb to talk? Trick question. They can smell your farts. New York City subway fans recognize you and your blank paper towels heads by your many mansions in the king's house. You fart-smelling plasma out of hearts and popular boys marry ugly girls just for laughing. Life isn't always a fair thing, George Washington Carver would have said. Had he been a candidate for that sweet, sweet generational wealth? Ba-dum ching. Oprah and Stedman will cry when they notice your golden coffin, having been given gifts of earthly wealth to spend on trips to space camp over the years. Satisfied with the notion that you were once rich, you can die deathily. Good night and good morning to you, Count Goldie's eighth. That was 2 days' work.
That's it. That's all.